Hiking the Appalachian Trail. Hiking the Appalachian Trail. Focus question. What are the challenges and rewards of hiking the Appalachian Trail? Introduction. My name is Ben. In 2015, I became so overwhelmed with my work as a therapist that I needed an especially long break. I decided it was time to fulfill a childhood dream and hike the entire length of the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail, or AT, is nearly 100 years ago. It connects the Appalachian Mountains of the eastern United States along their highest ridge lines. When the trail was completed in 1937, the AT became the world's longest hiking-only footpath. It still holds that title. AT begins on Springer Mountain in Georgia and travels over 2,000 miles, 3,000 kilometers north, ending on Mount Katahdin in Maine. It goes through 14 U.S. states. The terrain covers farmland, runs alongside rivers, travels above the trees, and even goes through backyards. Hiking an entire long-distance trail is called through hiking. Thousands of people try to complete an AT through hike each year. Only a few hundred, including me, succeed. More through hikers begin the trail in spring and hike north, as I did, since it is already warm down south in springtime. I took my first step from Springer Mountain, Georgia, on Spring 4th, 2016. The next few days were some of the most difficult. My body and mind had to acclimate to the daily challenges of hiking. Fun facts about the Appalachian Trail. Length 2,190 miles. 3,524 kilometers. Steps on an AT through like approximately 5 million. Highest point, Clingman's Dome, North Carolina, Tennessee border, 6,643 feet, 2,025 meters above sea level. Elevation gain in lows, equivalent to hiking Mount Everest from sea level and back 16 times. First and oldest through hiker, Earl V. Schaffer, first in 1948 at 30 years old and again in 1998 by 80 years old. Record for fastest AT through hike, 45 days, 22 hours, 38 minutes. Preparation is key. I spent several months intensively preparing for my through hike. I walked wherever I could while wearing my heavy pack. Often in poor weather, I got a job at an outdoor store to learn more about hiking supplies and try to save money. Through hiking gear: backpack, tent, trekking poles, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, seating pad, down jacket, rain jacket, poncho, rain skirt, pack cover. Waterproof bags, food, bear, bag, rope, camping stove, fuel, lighter, water bottles, water filter, purification tablets, first aid kit, repair kit, mini pocket knife, earplugs, sanitary kit, toothbrush, toothpaste, towel, hat, gloves, bandana, underwear, long underwear, t-shirt, shorts, pants, long-sleeved shirt, balaclava, hiking sneakers, camp shoes, camp socks, sock liners, wool socks, gaiters, headlamp, smartphone, headphones, GPS tracker, backup batteries. The trail community. Ever since I had heard about the AT as a kid, its trail community intrigued me. Just imagine an entire community constantly moving at different speeds, sprawled across 2,190 miles, 3,524 kilometers of continuous trail measuring only a few feet wide. Interesting people of all ages, cultural backgrounds, and abilities choose to hike the AT each year. Many people hike to help them recover from tragedies. I even met families hiking the whole trail together. Everyone I met was on the AT for a reason. Some through hikers hiked with a group, but I choose to hike alone most of the time. I enjoyed meeting new people and keeping my own schedule. Whenever I felt lonely, I could always seek out friends and fellow hikers. Daily challenges. One of the most difficult aspects of hiking every single day was just that, hiking every single day. On a typical day on the trail, I woke up with the sun. I hiked until I reached my daily goal and got to camp just before sunset. Most thru hikers, myself included, eat inexpensive foods that are lightweight, are easy to prepare, and won't spoil. The number of miles I hiked each day depended on the weather and the terrain. My personal goals and level of exhaustion also affected my daily mileage. I typically try to stay at campsite with a lean-to shelter, a water source, and an outhouse. Otherwise, I set up my small tent. Every few days, I went into a nearby town to replenish my food supply, take a shower, and do my laundry. I learned that properly resting and resupplying were just as important as hiking. On rainy days, I planned my whole day and arriving at a shelter in time to secure a spot. Shelters can peel off quickly in bad weather. Sometimes it rained non-stop for several days in a row and I couldn't fully dry out until I reached the town. Math minute. If I hiked 6 months, about how far did I hike each month? The most important concern while hiking is safety. I encountered black bears, venomous snakes, and disease-carrying ticks on the trail. Knowing that to do when faced with unsavory creatures is critical to staying safe in the woods. I tried to remain calm, act respectfully, and maintain a safe distance. I filtered all my water and was cautious about my hygiene to avoid getting sick. To prevent hypothermia, I stayed dry and warm. Having the right shoes and listening to my body's limits helped me avoid injuries. Keeping my gear well organized allowed me to be prepared in case of an emergency. Staying in touch with loved ones was also important to me. Although I felt very happy most of the time, one of the biggest challenges I faced was that hiking wasn't always fun. I was often hungry, exhausted, and sore. Sometimes I was even bored. I learned that the best way to overcome these challenges was to lean on the people around me for support. Like the beginning of my hike, the end was difficult. With the fall season in full swing, it had started getting cold at night, and I was hungrier than I had ever felt. The mountains of northern New England were undoubtedly the hardest to climb. My pace was cut in half as I traversed the rocky ranges of southern Maine. After nearly 6 months of hiking, I did it. I submitted Mount Katahdin on October 1st, 2016. However difficult they were, these last days on the trail were also unlike my first. I felt as though I was a different person than when I had started hiking. I never felt so strong, confident, and accomplished. As a child, I rarely played sports, but I know I could call myself an athlete for the first time. Reflections. Since I finished my hike, many people have asked me about my favorite memories. My fondest memories were those times when a challenge that seemed insurmountable turned into something beautiful. One night when I was camping alone on a treeless mountain top, strong winds and heavy rain caused my tent to collapse. I became frustrated and afraid. At 3 a.m., I gave up trying to sleep and decided to pack my belongings, eat breakfast, and start hiking. What followed was the most amazing sunrise I had ever seen, all alone on a mountain top. I had faced a challenge that at first seemed impossible but over time transformed into something incredible. Many people have asked me, "How did you do it?" I tell them that I hiked the Appalachian Trail in the same way you do anything else, one step at a time. People have also asked me, "Why did you do it?" Looking back, the reasons I kept going were different from my reasons when I began. I felt so surrounded by love and support for those around me and at home that I never wanted to stop. I'm writing this book several months after finishing my through hike. My knees still hurt from those 5 million steps. I was away from people I love for 6 months. So you might be wondering, was it worth it? I followed a dream one step after another for 5 million steps. No one can ever take that accomplishment away from me. It took months of careful preparation to hike the AT and failure of careful preparation to hike the AT and failure was always looming. I faced many dangers and challenges along the way. I planned to save money and learned to live on a tight budget. I also learned to value every item I carried because my life depended on it. I made friends from around the world and I grew closer to the people in my life who were cheering from the sideline. Despite all the challenges, in the end, through hiking was an invaluable experience.